listen, I've got it. You got an older car, just like me, and you're trying to upgrade it. And don't get me wrong, newer cars have better tech, have better safety features, and they're nicer to drive and nicer to live with. And I've given a deeper thought about it, and I've realized that most people are actually looking into a convenience stack in their car. And I mean having a touchscreen display in their head unit with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. And the good news, there's lots of aftermarket touchscreen displays you can buy for any car. I've even seen people integrating them into the cars from 90s and 80s.
It's going to depend on your car, but a decent aftermarket head unit is going to cost you around $200 to $1,000.
But think about it, upgrading your car to a newer one will cost you thousands. My car is 2012 Volkswagen Jetta, and I got this radio system installed by default. And if you think about it, my setup is pretty good. I've got this phone holder here, and my cable is running here for my auxiliary cable and for my charging. But everything will look much more modern if you put a touchscreen display here.
And the other reason is that when you use your phone as an infotainment system, everything is in portrait mode. And yes, you can use Google Maps horizontally as well.
But if you want to use Spotify, for example, it will only work in portrait mode. And this is something I don't like.
And aesthetically, it just doesn't look nice. The phone is stuck up on the dashboard, there's cables everywhere. I'm into minimalism, so I want to reduce the visual noise.
And that's why I got this. And this is RCD330, the best aftermarket solution for Volkswagen cars from this era. What's great about this head unit is that it's plug and play. We will just remove this radio and just plug this in. And it's going to take us around 10 to 15 minutes. How your head unit is going to look like and how to install it is going to depend on your car. But there's a website called Crutchfield that you can use to find aftermarket head units for your car. And they've got great filters where you can input your make, model, and year, and they're going to know exactly what aftermarket solution is going to work for you. But my point is that you don't need to upgrade your car yet.
Let's say you spend around $300 or $400 on your new system. And even if you don't want to install it yourself like I did, you can go to your local car audio shop and they can install it for you professionally. Of course, it's going to cost you a little extra, but you would spend so much more money if you would buy a newer car. And I like how Crutchfield is making sure to show all the important information for your exact car. It sounds like they paid me money to say things like this. And Crutchfield is not a sponsor of this video, but I just like their website and I recommend it to everyone who's looking for an aftermarket system like me. My system actually is not being sold on this website, so I found mine on AliExpress and it cost me around $250, and you can buy it from eBay if you'd like. Not all aftermarket head units are gonna be plug and play. The installation process obviously is gonna depend on your car, but on my head unit, it was pretty simple. Firstly, I had to remove the trim around my original head unit. And at first, I was a little afraid to break something, so I didn't apply too much force. And I had to buy a Torx 20 screwdriver from Amazon to unscrew the 4 screws around the center console. On this generation of Volkswagens, just be aware that there is an airbag cable on the bottom. Just don't unplug it because it may cause problems.
Look, I don't want to bore you to death, so voila. This is the new infotainment, and the process of installing it, basically the same exact process that we did before of uninstalling my previous one, but in reverse. In my situation with this particular car and this particular infotainment, it looks like it should have come this way from the factory. Alright, so when I start the car, I have a choice of just showing this clock, which shows the real time, or I can turn on the infotainment and we can go through the menus here. And the first one is the radio, if you do listen to it. I personally don't. So the next menu we have here is media, and as you can see, you have 4 sources. We have SD card, which you can insert here, auxiliary here, we have USB here, and you can also use Bluetooth audio. And what's great about RCD330 is that it's so customizable within the settings. So for example, for sound, we can go to volume and adjust the maximum startup volume when we start the car, adjusting your bass, mid, and treble. This is actually my perfect settings that I found for me. You can copy it if you like. The other great setting is for Bluetooth. We can pair multiple devices to this infotainment system, and you can even customize the Bluetooth name for this system, which is now called VW Radio. And finally, probably the reason you clicked on this video today is the App Connect, which is basically Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and MirrorLink. I connected my phone, and now we are in Apple CarPlay. And as you can see, the touchscreen is very responsive. I can easily go through every menu, and this is because it's based on the Linux system, so the processing power is actually good here. And now we can use Google Maps, Spotify, we can call someone, and it's all here. And one of the main reasons I'm advocating to use Android Auto and Apple CarPlay instead of using our phone is that it's actually safer. When you're using your phone to navigate, you're frequently finding yourself being distracted from driving. Whether it's quick texting or you're trying to call someone, it's so much easier to get distracted while driving. But when you're actually using Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, it's actually designed so that it's less distractive. For example, you cannot read your text. Siri can only read it out to
Maybe
you.
Lacoste said a silhouette made to last. Our new season collection.
And one of my favorite things about Apple CarPlay is this menu, where you can use split screen to show your map, to show your music, and some other info. I know that Android actually allows you to do split screen on your phones, but you know that Apple doesn't like to make other people's life easier, so that's why we only stuck with this. And seriously, every single time I stop at the stop sign or at the red light, I see people just using their phones all the time and get distracted. And I think Android Auto and Apple CarPlay makes it so much easier for us to just put our phone away and use our infotainment system, which is much safer. So when I actually got this car, I saw that it had a very generic radio, and I was a little underwhelmed, to say the least. And I immediately looked for the way for me to add the CarPlay in the future, and I'm so glad I finally got this setup here. Oh my god, this is actually so nice, because this car is 12 years old, and it's so cool to see this touchscreen display here. And what I'm most happy about is that this system just looks like OEM. As I said, it looks like it came from a factory, and that's true. When you look at it, and if somebody comes into my car, I'm telling you guys, they would not be able to tell that it was not installed in the factory. It's so nice to have something else other than auxiliary input on my previous radio, and now I can actually use CarPlay to play my music from Spotify, or I can use Bluetooth. This is such a game changer, guys. Yeah, it's been a couple of minutes into my first drive with this system, and it already feels like a much better place to be at. The original radio in this car I had just made this interior look so outdated and kind of boring, to be honest. And having this is such a great addition. It's just so funny. I was trying to film this video today all day, and it just never stopped raining. I guess this is Vancouver for you. I've talked to many people who had older cars, and they were telling me that they want to upgrade their car. And I was asking them, what is the main reason you think you should upgrade? And many of them actually say that it's the CarPlay. And sometimes having Apple CarPlay or Android Auto is one of the deciding factors for many people when they're purchasing a car. If the exact same model of any car, let's say in 2021 had Apple CarPlay and in 2020 didn't, people wouldn't just buy a 2020 version. They would go for a 2021 instead. And if you have an older car like me, upgrading it to the one with Apple CarPlay installed from the factory is going to cost you thousands. But this installation for me just cost me $250, and I can install it myself. Why would you spend so much money for this feature if you can buy an aftermarket solution? It will actually work fine for you. So if your car is reliable and it runs fine, and you can install something like this, don't upgrade your car, period. Thanks for watching. I swear to you, whenever I want to film something in this city, it just rains so much.